when it comes to it's just nature's way of saying I want a present. I might be white, I might be blonde, I might be whatever, you know.
I think people have preferences. Certain people prefer a brindle, certain people prefer a white, certain people prefer the fawn mask, some people think that masks really don't do anything for the dog. Any of that, which puppies can do, and that does not mean that they're not suitable for the job. It means they need redirection and actual guidance from a human person who brought them to your farm. They're not a cult. Just because they chewed on a lamb or something, it's a fixable problem.
Give your dog the best start possible. We offer proven tools, products, and supplements backed by our real-world experience and our passion for healthy dogs.
Welcome to NWA Connie Corsos podcast, where we talk all things dogs.
And they make me the underdog. I'm gonna show them all they're wrong because I'm the champion. I'm the real champion. There'll never be one like me.
Welcome back, NWA Connie Corsos. If you hadn't been here before, this is a show where breeders, pet owners, enthusiasts, consumers, Lottie, Dottie, everybody come here and we listen to different people's perspective in dogs and animals in general. Thank you for today's sponsor, our brother from another mother, Anthony Tosco, Avante Plumbing, one of the best in the nation. And today we have our friend Miss Natalie of Apex Anatolian Shepherds. How you doing?
Great, how are you?
I'm in it to win it. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Well, I'm glad you're here. I'm looking forward to talking about you and your dog, and things like that. But let's start out like this. Could you just give the public just a brief introduction of yourself, how you got into dogs and whatnot?
Sure. I've always had dogs just growing up. My family just had dogs. We started with pound puppies and then we moved into registered boxers. And now I raise Anatolian Shepherds because I don't live in California. I live in Montana. And the environment here invites a different type of working dog. So we got them back in 2010. I started with crosses because no one would sell a 22-year-old child a legit registered Anatolian Shepherd.
Right.
But yeah, now we're full AKC on the property. The dogs are working. All of them are outdoors right now, including the 9.5-week-old puppies. So, yeah, they live outside. We've got frost on the ground still after 10 a.m. So
Right.
It's getting cold.
Yeah, it is. And another thing, I just saw a deer walk by. That's why I was like,
You're good.
yeah. But let me ask you this now. Are you originally from Montana? Did I hear you say you talking about California?
I'm from California, which induces some people in Montana to cross themselves and hiss at you.
Yeah.
It does. It really does.
Yeah, I'm in Arkansas when Californians come in. We probably do a little bit of the same thing.
I mean, there's different folks from California moving to different places for different reasons. I don't know that everyone moving from California is awful, but I am biased.
Yeah. I tell you what, we getting a lot of Californians. Well, first off, because California is getting like, no, not getting, it's been super expensive. And then I live in the mountain biking capital of the world. So he love mountain biking, nature. Where I'm at, I mean, it's popping, you know, it's jumping, yeah. So you moved to Montana.
Yeah. So my husband and I, we had some dairy goats down in Phoenix, actually. And we moved to Montana. And I, did a little internet sleuthing, which was very much limited back in 2010. It feels like the dark ages now, looking back, like forum. So exciting. Those like Apple list server email lists.
Right.
Like that was the source. But I figured out that basically the minute we got here, everything would want to eat my very expensive registered dairy goats. So I wanted to prevent that from happening because they all had names and they were pets, and functional pets are my favorite. So yeah, so I got a puppy the day we moved in and just kind of went from there.
Okay. So it sounds like you into the farming thing as a whole. I mean, what all kind of animals do you have besides the dogs?
Oh boy. Okay.
Uh-oh.
Should we go in size order or quantity? We have a free ranging flock of about 50 chickens. We've got meat rabbits in both colony and cage setups. We have kuni pigs, which are like those cute little multicolored ones that you see on people's like Instagram. They'll put them in their house, and then they're confused when they reach 200 pounds. And it's still a pig, not a Pomeranian. So we have those. They're adorable. They have triple marketability. So you've got the pet people, you've got the meat people, and you've got the registered seed stock breeder people. So I love a triple market animal. And then we have fainting goats, so myotonic goats. They don't actually faint.
Okay, so so that's a rumor about them fainting.
No, so it's actually like a genetic anomaly that's been selected for. It's technically defect if you're a geneticist. What it is if they are startled, they freeze and their muscles tense. So if they're moving forward and they do that, they do fall over. Because it's like mid-run, you just like your whole body freezes and the momentum will just carry you over kind of thing. Most of the time, if they're calm and they just get mildly startled, they'll just stand a little stiffer for a second and then they let it go. But they're not losing consciousness like that. So it's not like a faint. It's a mild seizure.
Oh, okay. Yeah, okay, that is a defect. Okay.
It is a genetic weird thing. Yeah, they selected for it because they thought that it bulked them up, their meat animals, so it made the muscle bigger, quicker, which is true. They are pretty meaty for a smaller animal. What I like about them is they're super easy on fence, which goats are not known to be.
Yeah, like it's goats like people could, I don't know if they do this a lot, but I heard about goats. They'll hire out people to bring certain goats and just plow a land in a few days, right?
Yeah. So especially in like a high fire risk area, if you have like an overgrown backyard and you got away from you or you were out of town and you didn't mow, or you just have really aggressive plants back there, like kudzu is a popular one down south that people get. And they're just like, it got away from me in like 4 days. What do I do? You can, in a lot of places, you can hire a herd of goats to get dumped in your backyard for a couple nights and they will eat everything.
Everything.
Yeah. I don't do that service, but like honestly, I'm pretty sure that's worth everything that they charge because that's saving your back and your grass and your mower and everything else.
Yeah, yeah.
And they're
That's
effective.
crazy, isn't it? Yeah. Nature's awesome. Now you see, we start talk about stuff now. We go get to the dogs, but now you got me want to ask some other questions. Now, the meat rabbits, right?
Oh, a literal rabbit hole. Okay.
Yeah, so yeah, we're going. So you breed those as well, right? Okay. So I was talking to somebody just the other day, about it might not be enough rabbit breeders out here, because I hear that they use the rabbits for different things like serums, and they like every part of the animals for something. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so, like, backyard producers are not able to, collect and market for, like, blood serums and stuff for meds, but, like, pharmaceutical companies, I mean, we kinda see about, like, the lab rabbits for, like, cosmetics, but there's also the medical side too. Um, Usually they use California whites as far as I know, which are, like, the kinda creepy white ones with the red eyes. We don't dig red eyes, we eat them fast here. But, yeah, they can have multiple uses. The one thing about meat rabbits that's, like, important for people to understand is that they are not a complete diet, whether for humans or dogs. They have basically no fat content. So, you can literally starve to death eating just rabbit, which is not good. Uh, so you gotta balance that diet, whether it's people or critters.
Right. So you were just
Into meat. It's great.
yeah. So you eat a little rabbit yourself, right?
Oh, yeah.
Pretty eat it.
Really not enough, but I do.
Okay. Yeah. Actually I made some the other day,
Cool.
and when you stew anything, you can't go wrong.
No, honestly, and yet as long as you're fastidious about picking out the bones, like, you can just cook crock pot the whole puppy in there, like, just it's great.
Bone them. Uh-huh.
Lots of bones to pick out. So you just gotta, like, remind everybody. It's like, don't swallow, like, chew your food and get bones out for sure. Don't only do so much on the cooking side. You gotta both ends.
Right. So are you doing any kind of horticulture?
Um, I have ridiculously tropical houseplants that are not edible, but they're pretty. And we do garden a little. It is not my area. It is not my strength. So I have taken to just like buying berry bushes and other stuff. They're like perennial, and putting them in my friend's like huge enclosed garden with like proper deer fence and everything to keep stuff out. Usually my kids will leave a gate open and goats get in and destroy everything like 3 weeks before harvest. And then I want to like throw things, which is not healthy for my mental state. So
Yeah, that's right.
yeah, it's better to outsource the gardening.
Right. Okay, cool. So let me ask you this. How much property, if you don't mind, how much property are you on?
Just a little over 10 acres, which here is like nothing. Um, I've got friends here that like own a section, which is a square mile, which is a lot of land. We're heavily forested though, and we do have 100-foot elevation change here just on our 10 acres. And what that does is the trees are a lot of good cover for predators, and the elevation, we have essentially like a clay cliff because we're on clay, which is a different beast altogether to live on. It kind of erodes each year, so it's not fenceable. But the cougars love to just chill on the top and hunt off of it in the spring. So we fence well back from it, so they're just picking off the deer and not my stuff. Because yeah, that's just not really defensible.
We getting a lot of cat sightings where I live now. Big cats. One got hit the other day. I don't know if you saw it. It was a big cat.
They can get really big, especially the toms. That's probably like just to bring it back to the dogs. The dogs are really good about like training wildlife. Like we train our dogs. These dogs can actually train other predators because predators are like instinctually territorial.
Yeah.
With your big cats, that's a little bit different because they have such large territories. They kind of cycle through, and they can actually share and overlap. But like this one comes through in March and this guy comes back around in April, and they don't really, as long as they're not meeting up, which is very rare other than breeding season, there's not a whole lot of issue or conflict. But with our dogs, because they're here 24/7 and they're establishing that territorial bubble, they literally, if you have a collar on like a wolf or a bear or a cougar, you can literally see them just take a wide berth around my property because they're like, no, that's too much work.
Too much work. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's get to the dogs. Let's do it.
Okay. Transition.
Yeah. So did you what made you pick this breed, the Anatolian,
I've
as your breed of choice?
I've always really liked them. I like the look of them. I like their size. I find them more manageable than like say a Spanish Mastiff that's like over 200 pounds
Right.
and just gargantuan. Mm. Most of my bitches are right around 100. It's like 90 to 110 pounds. And my males are about 130 to 145. I consider that a manageable size of dog. Some people are like, that's too small to be effective. And some people are like, that's way too big. I would never fit them in my vehicle. So there's like, different stuff for different people, but they're manageable for me. I like the variety. I like that they're still pretty land racy, even for an AKC recognized breed. I like the variety that you can find in different lines. And I do like that there's still an active working focus among the show dog people with the registered dogs.
Yeah, but you stow as well, right?
I do, yeah. I started a few
You're a
years.
rarity. You kind of a rarity a little bit, with a person that actually works and function and show.
Yeah, I mean, I not in this breed, honestly, which is great. But yeah, I think it is probably a little rarer, maybe in some other, especially like working group dogs.
Right.
You either like, and that doesn't mean that the people are wrong or any less passionate. They have their thing and they're just all in on their thing with their dogs. So that does kind of do some splits and some things genetically, I think. But no, at the end of the day, I mean, a lot of working people, because I am a working person. I'm not a show person. I'm excessively bad at it. Honestly, it's embarrassing. Anytime my dogs win something, it's in spite of me, not because of me, my handling skills. But what I like about dog shows is, you can watch a movie like Best in Show and you can experience some people on social media who seem like all they do is go to a show every weekend with their dog. And you're like, what kind of life is that? It's easy to like judge other people for what they show us on the internet, I think. But if you never actually attend a dog show, you don't even have to enter, honestly. If you just go and you see the people with their dogs, the dogs are not sad. The dogs are being pet by the public. They're getting excessively groomed. They are immaculately kept. They're well fed. They're in good condition. They're responsive to strangers. Like even my dogs that on my farm, if you walked up my driveway, you would have a not very friendly reception, obviously. They're not going to jump the fence to get you, but they're going to make you feel like they might, right? They're going to make you question your life choices pretty quick.
Right.
Whereas I take them to a dog show and they just lay there and fall asleep next to the ring, and we'll have hunting horses.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're off duty.
Oh.
They have a good off switch, and they're just like, Mom's got this. I don't need to defend myself or anyone else here. I'm off duty. Just a dog.
Yeah.
And it's nice to see that in a working dog and in a working breed, because some dogs don't have an off switch. I mean, I think we've all met a border collie or two who just could not. And that's exhausting to be around as a human.
Right. See, and I'm glad you said that, because I got Central Asian Shepherds, right?
Okay.
They don't go into the vet acting fool. You know what I mean?
Correct.
They don't do that. They kind of, read the room and, man, just sit down. Mom and dad sit down on all these other dogs. And they necessarily hadn't been exposed to all that, different things. But the temperament is great on them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they have like we call it discernment. So they're not going to get excited
Right.
by that puppy that's like lunging at them at the vet's office, or by the cat that's hissing at them, because they're just like, you're not a real threat. I know what a real threat is and you're not it. So, yeah.
That's right. Yeah. So I really respect that you do it, because when you think about how you're doing it, you're preserving the purpose of the breed. You're trying to, and a lot of time the conformation part is and goes along with the function of it.
Yeah.
I would
The form of the standard,
follows them.
because you can't really describe the job tactics and techniques and instincts on a piece of paper and like have it hold up and be interpreted identically by different humans. Because we all have our own worldview that we bring, even to a written breed standard. I mean, it says 34 inches, and they're like, well, could it also be 36 inches? And it's like, no, it's not what it says, right? But different breeds have different things. Like the Anatolian Shepherd, for example, we have a disqualification for a wry bite, which is like, to the side, or undershot or overshot significantly. We want a scissors. We'll accept the level. There are a lot of people who, think that dog shows are just beauty shows and beauty pageants for dogs and for rich people to have bragging rights, and has no real function in the world, breeding a lot of rye bite. Because they just never look. It's not like they're being malicious and doing it on purpose to try to screw up the breed. But if their dog can eat, they're not looking in his mouth.
Right.
That's about the time that people start opening mouths and looking at the teeth, is when they're off food. If they never go off food, the average farmer who's just running these dogs for work is not looking at it at a super high level. But a judge will. So if you take your working dog out of the field and you take it to a dog show, and the judge is like, hey, he actually is disqualified because of his bite. And the DQ is purposeful in the standard because, you can have a dog with a little tiny bit of an underbite, but his kids or his grandkids could have a significant issue with the jaw, the mandible to skull ratio. And that could impede their ability to work and function and eat, but really work is what we're concerned about, right? So it might not be an issue for this dog, but you breed that forward, and for a couple generations, you could actually create some significant issues completely unintentionally. And so that's an important part of it, where it's like, oh, it's just a beauty contest. No, it's functional too.
Yeah.
And
Because we have these animals in our hand, and so therefore we are playing Mother Nature. We want to be careful with it,
she's sneaky.
Yeah. And she's unpredictable.
And she has her own ways. Yeah, you could do everything right. I mean, you can do all the breed appropriate health testing. You can DNA screen. You can have really ideal parents and ideally match like her strengths or his weaknesses and vice versa. And you can produce some crap. It's just like, but it happens.
Yeah.
Long enough.
Right. So let me get back into the history of it just a little bit, especially for people who don't understand the breed. It's a dog out of Turkey.
Yeah.
European Asian dog. You think both of them share that dog?
Yeah, like Eastern Asia. So Turkey back in the day was not Turkey, obviously. The reason they're called Anatolian shepherds is because Anatolia was like that entire region. And it goes back to Byzantine Empire and way back. There's statues like carved in stone, and there's reliefs in caves, and there's all kinds of documentation of these dogs working and living with the shepherds and their flocks. So that's what we trace back to. I believe a lot of breeds also, claim that as their origin, which is completely valid. I mean, there weren't dedicated breeds back in the day, right? So a couple ancestors could produce a lot of variety today coming forward. So, but they were essentially selected for an independent spirit. These are dogs that don't need to be told, hey, go bite that wolf. You don't need to do that. They know.
Right.
Which in modern days can create some issues with the people who were raised with Labradors, German Shepherds, any really normal standard dog who you're like, I feed you, you listen to me. This is the agreement we have. An Anatolian, I can walk outside now and they'll come check in, and then they will go back
They'll go off.
to whatever they were doing.
That's right.
And unless I use an emergency recall, even if I call their name, that's not my emergency recall. They will add me to their to-do list. It's kind of like taking a number at the DMV. Like, they'll get to you when they get to you. It's not right now I'm coming, I love you so much. How can I make you smile today, mom? It's a I'm busy. I'll get to you later.
Yeah,
Thing.
yeah, yeah. It's familiar. The situated shepherd sounds very similar. Yeah,
Yeah, and like Central Asians, like they have a slightly sharper, I would say, temperament than the Anatolian. But of course, your mileage may vary. An individual dog is not the breed of a whole. Like it is, you can have a sharp Pyrenees, and you can have a softer Central Asian Shepherd or Anatolian. I think that's. I mean, I can go into the temperament testing part that hardly any farmers actually perform. That is really, really important with these breeds. 'Cause
yeah. Hey, yeah. Tell us, what does that temperament test look like for farmers? What would we want to be looking at?
So yeah, so I do my own that I've kind of created over the last 15 or so years. But what I want to look at is temperament traits. So that's like who they are as a dog. Um, that's, are they going to approach? Are they going to be forward with a new strange dog or human? Or are they going to kind of hang back and watch? Are they scared or are they just observant? Do they need confidence built up? Confidence is a fluid trait that we can build if they need it. But if they're not having it because they're kind of the lower puppy on the totem pole in the whole litter, it's important to get that puppy out of the litter space and in with the big, softer dogs who will, issue that puppy card and let them get away with a little bit more and build that confidence in that puppy rather than leaving them in the Thunderdome that is a litter. But really, I mean, there are puppies that I've produced that are not suitable for a first-time livestock guardian dog owner. I mean, they're jerks. And if you don't know how to manage that, they will ruin your life. And I think people really underestimate the power of a dog who comes in to control your entire household. If the people don't step up to the plate and say, thank you so much for your application to be the boss. It's denied. We actually have that position filled already. It's me. But I'd be happy to have you as a shift supervisor outside in the barn. Kind of thing. Like that conversation, that understanding has to be there. Otherwise, that dog will keep you from entering your kitchen until you give him what he wants, whatever that is.
Yeah,
And that's dangerous.
yeah,
Especially if you have kids.
yeah. It is. Yeah, they'll even. I know. The dogs I'm running, they'll try to even do it amongst each other. Like you try to come up in rank too fast, and you have to let them check them. Like, oh, you're not gonna do this. You're not, because they will try to dominate. Wait, I don't know what it is about
Those young males, man.
Yeah,
They just, they hit like 18 months and they're like, I could rule the world. It's like Pinky and the Brain, if you remember, to like way back. It's like we're gonna rule the world.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So temperament matching, like even if you already have one, if you have like a more pensive, reserved dog and that was your first livestock guardian dog, they can be very effective against local predators. But with other dogs, they kind of just like roll over and they're like, yeah, whatever you say to your like pet Labrador house dog. You need to bring in a more dominant puppy to match that. Otherwise, you're going to have two dogs competing to be in the back. And that's not what you need in a functional pack order. So, yeah, it's a balancing act for sure.
Yeah, yeah. How are they toward your children?
I'm pretty sure I've had guardian dogs longer than I've had human children. When they were toddlers, I think they just looked like really ugly, weird goat. And they treated them just like something that needed protection and, supervision. I've got pictures of like, my oldest, who's now almost 14, just playing out there with Tonka trucks. And one of the dogs is just laying next to him being like, I got this. So like I could actually fold laundry that day, dream big. I don't think I would have been able to have my kids be outside and like have a normal functional childhood really here at this location if I didn't have the dogs. So I'm very, very grateful to them for that because I think playing in the dirt is very important for children.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I noticed mine. They kind of like it's funny. Like you say, they come up and greet, then they go about their business, and then they just want to watch them. I wouldn't necessarily want to play with you, but I'll watch you. I'll the sky for you. I can watch anything, squirrel, anything moving.
And they do a lot of body blocking. Like they do some body blocking with me, but a lot with the kids. They will just put themselves between that child and anything they don't trust.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now,
It's very passive. Like it's not an aggressive thing. but it is a very controlling, like, hey, I see you, and this is my kid.
Right.
Kind of thing.
Yeah. Um, it was something I want to ask you about. I want to clarify something. When you talking about a livestock guardian job and his duties, I think some people might get it confused, like thinking that their role may be something like a sheepdog, which is it's different, isn't it? They don't go herding; they go.
No.
I could just protect us. Can you explain that?
Yeah, absolutely. So, like, you have like an Australian Shepherd or a German Shepherd, and these are herding dogs that move the herd physically for the people. They work with the people. They're very biddable. They care about what you feel and how you think about a situation. And that's how they've been selected, right, for thousands of years, to work with us to a goal to move the sheep from that mountain to that mountain. A guardian dog should not be moving the flock of sheep from a mountain to a mountain. They should be following. They should be intermixed in between them. They can even lead them from the front. You're looking at no mouth contact on heels or anywhere else. Any of that, which puppies can do, and that does not mean they're not suitable for the job. It means they need redirection and actual guidance from you as a human person who brought them to your farm. They're not a cull just because they chewed on a lamb or something. It's fixable problems, but you have to monitor and be aware and correct the problem. You can't just throw them in a field and expect them to do this job. But they will be out there 24/7. In the culture that they come from, the shepherds are also out there all summer with the flock or the herd on the mountain, getting that good grass for free because it's subsistence farming over there. And the dogs are intermixed, and the dogs go to the shepherd for guidance when they want it, but not typically. They have their own setup. They do rounds. It's kind of like if you watch any of those like compound movies of like the preppers or like in a compound, there's zombies. They have rounds that they do. They there's a dedicated person that stays with the young ones or the kids, and there's the guy that goes out to scout. The dogs do that. So nature abhors the vacuum. These guys are really primitive in that way, and they will fill the gaps in their own security system, and they're very effective.
Yeah. Cool. Hey, I didn't cut you off on finishing on temperament, did I?
No, I also do a work aptitude evaluation on puppies, which is completely different.
Okay.
It's just monitoring like, okay, my kids go outside. Is that puppy like, oh my gosh, it's a human child, I love you? Or are they like, like, go away, you're too loud and annoying and I'm busy? Because you'll get both in a litter. You can have both. Even if the parents are more or less people-y, you can have a very people-y puppy come out of two not very people adjacent dogs, and you can have the opposite too.
Yeah, you can. Yeah.
Yeah, there's variety. Genetics are crazy.
They somebody referenced it to that shaking that snowman globe and it's landing where, because I had a dog recently that come out of a pair. I was like, it was a really serious dog. I'm like, how did that happen? You know what I mean?
Yeah, and probably like a grandpa, a real crotchety grandpa, and he that's who this puppy is. And it can be hard to place them.
Yeah.
Appropriate.
I mean, I'm like, God, how did he come out of that? But it happened. It happened. Yeah. So even with what does it look like, or what animals do the Anatolians get access to? I know you got chickens. Do the dogs?
So chickens.
Okay.
Chickens are like a choose your own adventure animal with very small brains. So they have access to dog-free areas, and they have access to all the dog adjacent areas, and they can go in the pens, and I don't clip wings, I don't do any of that crap. So they can go wherever they please. The only real issue that I have with the chickens is when they refuse to go to the coop and they roost in my willow tree that's like bigger than my house.
Yeah.
And then it's this time of year and the leaves are falling and the owl comes through.
Ooh, yeah.
And he's like, dinner bell. Thank you so much for coming to my buffet. The dogs cannot fly.
Right.
They can jump a little. They can't jump 20 feet in the air. It's unreasonable for me to get upset with the dogs if I lose a chicken from the top of the willow tree that they had no way to prevent or get to, you know. So that's the only real losses that we have here at this point. My rabbits are not free range, although I have human children. So a couple of them are just running amok. And they will go out in the pasture, and certain dogs are just like, whoa, you don't go here. And some of them just ignore them. But so they don't really set up shop out in the pasture and like dig burrows. They'll dig them out in the front, which is great.
Yeah. So you got, besides the owl, you probably had a hawk and the eagle as well. But them eagles, they're not gonna really come down there with you.
Hawks are not an issue. The only thing I've ever had with a baldy was we had Muscovy ducks for a while, and I had a brown one who was swimming on the brown pond. I think from like way high up there, she looked like a fish. And he was just like delicious. And he came down and the dogs freaked out. And I like ran out there with a shotgun ready to like do some damage. That's when I only had 2 dogs. And I see it's a bald eagle.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, we're putting the gun down. So then I just like, like slapped my arms and like ran at it. And I was like, woo! And it unfortunately like it dropped the bird because it couldn't get lift with that Muscovy duck because she was like 7 pounds. She was huge. But his like talon got in there, so I couldn't get her healed up, unfortunately. But the eagles are not a huge deal. The biggest issue we have that's airborne is actually the ravens. And it's not for like, I mean, they would go for a piglet because they're pretty small when they're born, but they steal eggs.
Oh, yeah.
The free range birds will go lay eggs wherever they please. And that trains the ravens that this is a food center. And then when they have babies out there, the ravens will take the babies, the baby chickens. Yeah. We had one get into a brooder years ago and kill almost 80 baby chicks that had just been feathered out. It literally decapitated every one of them and took one body back to its nest because I matched them all back up because I was a little obsessive.
Yeah. Wow.
So,
that's crazy. Yeah.
Yeah. Ravens are intensely smart, and no one like they're not your first instinct. You're like, oh, bald eagles, owls. Nah, it's those ravens. They are wily, and they will just sit there and watch, and they're also very good at communication, like better than humans, I think.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, if they have something going on, they literally can call in like all their cousins, I swear, because I'll have like 15 of them out front, and I'm like, okay, and now clearly I have baby chicks running around somewhere. I need to go find them in the bush and put them in the mudroom. Because, yeah, they're like, it did.
So when you have these predators, somebody who crazy enough to want to come around there, that tail on that dog, does that tail do it? Because is it always curled up, or does it do something different when it gets alerted?
So, like, I guess like that is pretty standard.
Okay.
When it's curled up over their back, they are interested in something. So they're watching something, and you'll see them go with their tail up, and that's a I see you, like FAFO warning. They are like just like all the other, predators. They mark their territory, and the dogs uniquely also bark to claim territory. So that's where a lot of neighbor issues actually happen with these guys, is barking outwards from the property line. When you have an older lady next door who's lived there since before you moved in, and now your dog is barking at her every time she leaves her house, that's not a great situation.
No.
So
Yeah. Even if I don't care about the bylaws and things like that, barking dogs cause issues, though.
yeah, and it's
Mm.
I mean, I can see both sides. It sucks being barked at by someone else's large, intimidating dog in your own yard, on your own property. That is jacked up. They're not wrong. A lot of people consider these dogs like the livestock guardian breed. So Pyrenees, Anatolians, Central Asians, Maremas, like all these guys, because they have an independent nature that they're not trainable or they're, quote, stubborn. They're actually very trainable. You just have to make them think it was their idea.
Yeah. Right. Right.
They're very easily trained into like, that's actually not a good idea, and like it's better over here. And they're like, ooh, it is better over here. Let's do that instead.
Yeah.
But you're not training them with like a kibble or a jerky treat. They're like, I would rather starve than do what you want me to do right now. Some days.
Yeah. If you, I noticed like they necessarily, like a lot of rag play. It seems like they drop their stuff at some point, like, animal prey. Oh,
They get some zoomies, man. I don't know. My big dog, especially when it gets cooler, you don't get like snow much, probably. Here when it starts snowing, the dogs like romp in it. They're very excitable, and they do like play fight and stuff.
They love
Uh,
it.
But yeah, no, they're not doing that puppy stuff though long term. But they do get little bursts of energy, especially when the weather cools off. They're like, oh, thank God.
Yeah, for sure. What colors do they come in? I'm trying to get
Yes.
sample.
No. So our standard currently says all colors equally accepted.
What's all colors mean?
Okay, so that is, of course, right, like I said before, different people interpret breed standards in different ways, right? So as far as I've been told by long-term breed club members, what the intention was all natural colors, like to the dogs of Turkey, are equally accepted. What we're coming into now is all means all in the dictionary, right? Like there's no variation of the word all.
Oh, yeah.
So, last year, the Anatolian Club with the Kennel Club in the UK added a little snippet to that sentence that says all colors except Merle equally accepted, because there are no Merle dogs native to Turkey.
Right.
And I think if we've looked at what's happened in other breeds, poodles, French bulldogs, et cetera, we know Merle is coming. And when the standard says all, a judge is going to interpret that as all, even though where's that Merle actually coming from? It's coming from herding or hunting breeds like Catahoula.
Yeah.
Yep. So that's a problematic mix, even if it's 1/8, just to get that coat color.
Yeah.
And they otherwise look type-wise like they have that silhouette, but they're spotty. That's a big concern to me, just as a breeder, but especially as the club president. So what we're going to put on the next ballot, because we vote next year, is accept Merle. And because we have to have a membership vote for the bylaws to change and the standard to change. So we're going to get that in there, and hopefully the membership understands why Merle is a bad idea. But yeah.
Okay, so let me ask you this on the color of colors. I'm talking about really just on nature wise. The dog might not necessarily. I lost some focus here. Okay, there we go. So when you talk about livestock guardian breeds, it necessarily not like in camouflage, look like the flock. Do you think this is, when it comes to livestock guardians, do you think this nature's way of saying, I want a presence? I might be white, I might be fawn, I might be whatever,
Yeah, I think the wild type dogs tend more towards a fawn or stable. I think that humans, because they are domesticated, right? Like they're our baby, we made them this way. I think people have preferences. Certain people prefer a brindle, certain people prefer a white, certain people prefer the fawn with the black mask. Some people think that masks really don't do anything for the dog. I have found that color has no impact on actual workability or instinct. I haven't found any sort of issue there. I've owned almost every color pattern and base color that an Anatolian Shepherd can come in, other than Merle. But I've got brindles and I've got fawns and I've had pintos and Dutch mark and mask, no mask. I enjoy having a little bit of variety. It helps my husband tell the dogs apart, which is not like a huge functional issue, but it's like a quality of life issue for me a little bit. Cause I'm like, the black one.
Yeah. Right.
He's like, oh, okay. Cause like, God forbid I ever leave the farm and he has to give somebody medication or something. I'm like, did you medicate the right dog? So yeah, I mean, I don't think that it needs to be like a dog matching its livestock. Oh, you'll see that with what we call the BWDs, the big white dogs. So Pyrenees, Maremma, Kuvas, Commodore even. They're white. Their sheep are white. So they're blending with the herd. And that way, if a wolf does come in, it's like, surprise. It's a sheep with a lot of teeth and a lot of...
Right.
I don't know that that's the way to go. I prefer having dogs that just keep them the hell out of my land to begin with.
Yeah.
It prevents that conflict and that injury, because even if your dogs, kill a wolf, that's all well and good. But now you've got to check your dog's head to toe, which they don't love. They've got stuff to do.
Right.
They don't want to be going to the vet. They don't want to get stapled up. They don't want to get sutures. They really don't want to go and like wake up in a strange place after being sedated because they had to get a lot of sutures. So I lean more towards, I don't care about the color. I care about like the spirit and the grit in that dog. And any color a good dog comes in is a good color to me.
Yeah. 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 I can appreciate you saying that, because even in life, we don't want conflict.
No.
I mean,
Well, some of us do, but
yeah, I was just thinking in my mind when I said that about a guy. So now, look at you getting in a fight. You know what I mean?
big
I
truck
don't know.
dog,
No,
those
yeah,
guys.
yeah. So I definitely get what you're saying. So even when it comes to predator pressure, I'm not even really, we don't really have to get into that because you done killed that whole conversation. I remember you said the bear, they just.
I mean, there are circumstances where a predator will come here and be like, I have no other option.
Right. Yeah, they get bold like a coyote. It come in there and screeching. We have come down the side of the house.
Or ill.
So,
I mean, if a bear is injured or sick,
right.
or this time of year, if they're in hyperphagia, which means they are like their brain and their instincts, everything in their body is telling them eat, 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 eat. And that overrides personal safety to some degree. Not every degree, not always, but you will have more conflict in the fall with a bear, or honestly any predator. If you have a true winter coming, you'll have more predator conflict and more predator pressure come fall because they're preparing. And you'll have more conflict come spring because they have babies to feed.
Yeah, that makes sense. We actually had someone lose their life from a black bear here recently.
Shockingly, black bears kill more people than grizzlies in the U.S. And like the local bear guy too, but I firmly believe that it's because people don't respect black bears. Oh, it's just a black bear. Like it's no big deal.
Yeah, because
It's not a great
people get used to them running off, stomping their feet at it, and they might not.
And people treat them like dogs. People will feed them steak. People don't clean their barbecue grills. People do things actively. They actively do not limit the draws in their front yard or backyard. They are actively inviting. It's like a neon sign, like, come here. This is where the food is. And then they're shocked when the bear comes, or they're like, I'm going to be like Snow White and tame this black bear. I mean, I don't know if you've seen the guy that does all the white women videos. Women rescuing.
The white women comedy is what you talk about? Yes, I've been thinking about interviewing him, but I didn't know the reception of it.
I love him so much.
Yeah, he's.
As a woman, I love him. But it's like white women ain't scared of shit. They're not.
Well, now they come to these animals, boy.
No, Oh, and it is, I mean, but as a predator, they're living in survival mode constantly. They work for a living, for real.
Mm-hmm.
And when people, have just one dog, 100-pound dog is not going to really deter a 400-pound black bear sow who's in hyperphagia and her brain is telling her, go eat everything in that fence.
Right.
We humans, if we're responsible livestock owners, contain our animals.
Right.
Whether it's a large area or a small area, they're in a fence.
They gotta be the fence.
The wildlife, the deer, the hares, anything else that bear might be hunting that day is not really contained in a fence. It's a lot of work to run miles and miles.
Right.
And if they can just run within 1 acre
Uh-huh.
and get a meal, and that's the most delicious meal they've ever had because it's corn fed and alfalfa and it's delicious. Now they're like, I know where to go get my meals forever, potentially. And that's bad training. And that's our fault, not the bear's fault. Right? So a lot of people do kind of, I feel like, half-ass it with LGDs. They'll get a puppy and they'll just throw it out there and expect it to know its job because it's got instincts and it's got good breeding. You're still a human and you're still responsible for that critter and making sure they get the ropes and also that they're a tenable size to survive in your environment, which is different here in Montana. Like here, they should probably be 6 months before they're on their own outdoors. Whereas, California, where the biggest predator you have is a couple neighbor dogs in like suburbia. Yeah, you can have a puppy outside. The neighbor dogs aren't gonna come over and kill the puppy.
Right. Right.
Here, if you have a single puppy and you have a couple local wolves, they will absolutely come kill your puppy because it's a future. They're future proofing their territory.
Y'all have the gray wolf, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
How big is this sucker?
The wolves are such a topic here in Montana because you've got the people who native gray wolves here are not actually that big. You're looking at 90-pound average. I live in 9 Mile Valley. We have books written about our wolf packs. We have extensive study here, in my specific north-south valley of Montana. Back in the 70s and 80s, the federal government saw fit to go pick up wolves in Canada, which are larger physically than our native gray wolves, and reintroduce them, which led to a significant amount of co-breeding. We still, back when I moved here in 2010, had a mostly original gray wolf pack, 40 miles from me up the valley, at a famous person's ranch, actually, which is funny. But they haven't been spotted in the last 5 years that I know of, because the bigger ones got more established, and size does matter in that sort of conflict. So I think they might actually be gone now, but I only really see loafers down here because I'm more towards the mouth of the valley, which is just males that are not associated with a family group.
Right.
That's what we call loafers.
Yeah.
They don't cause me any problems at all. They'll run the creek. Our property is located between a mountain of it has 2 houses between us and the Forest Service for hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of thousands of acres.
Yeah.
And a year-round creek. So it's a high traffic zone right here, coming from wild to water. Both for ungulates, so elk, white-tailed deer, and then also the predators that like to eat them because that's they follow the prey. They do mostly avoid my property. I have a couple white-tailed does who literally just live here rent-free.
Yeah.
They eat my alfalfa. They have twins and triplets every spring. Yeah, they're opportunistic too.
Yeah. I have deer that come up to my dog's fence and be like,
Yeah. They're chewing cud. They're like, what you gonna do that? Uh-huh. Yeah, no, some deer have substantial attitude, and it's you are the lowest rung of prey animal. think you can fight a car. Like, come on,
Right.
buddy.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So it's funny. You have a lot of releasing of like the wolves, and I think they did something with the bear here, and they released some cats here now, and now we're starting to see a lot of them. Is it? Are you seeing, being that you from California, are you seeing a influx of people wanting to move more into the nature nowadays?
COVID really, I feel like, had a big push for that.
Yeah.
I think people realize, like, I am living too close to other people that I don't trust or like.
Right.
I'm going to move to Montana and be a cowboy. You know, like, that was like a literal thought process of a lot of people 5 years ago. So, yeah, we have a big influx of people who were raised in, like, suburbia, even like legitimate cities, and not just California. I mean, East Coast, West Coast, all over the place. They're like, oh, I need to get away from people. And they're like, they looked at a map and they're like, I don't want to commit to Alaska. What's the next best thing?
Sure.
And they're like, Wyoming is too open. They're like, Montana, there it is. I saw the river runs through it. I would like to live there and fly fish.
Yeah.
So here they come.
Then you got other issues like food, safety of food, the pressures of bills, economics.
Oh, yeah.
People, yeah, the freedom of and the peace of mind that comes with being on 10 acres.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, if I was gonna starve, I would become magically a better gardener, probably.
Right.
But I can also trade meat. I mean, people will absolutely trade pork for produce.
Yeah.
I can trade bacon for basically anything. Ammo, produce. Like, people are happy to have bacon. It makes them happier.
Right. Yeah.
I raise pigs.
Yeah.
It works.
Yeah. So being that I'm right here on the border of Missouri and Arkansas, so I'm very familiar with that culture. So I got half a pig in the freezer.
Yeah. And it's
I got it.
way better quality pork than you would have got.
Yeah, I got a cow in the for the freezer. Yeah, so yeah, it's different then the price of the stuff is going crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. For half a beef, like here, like grass finished Montana beef, you're looking at $4,000 for half.
Yeah. For half?
Half.
4,000 for half a cow.
In processed, not just paying for the half the cow, but like that's
still a lot.
It's a lot of money, man. Yeah. Montana has a very high cost of living for like the pay grade that like basic, like even mid-grade jobs are here. So I think the like raising your own food and cutting costs like anywhere you can is really popular because of that. It's a beautiful place to live. There's like endless opportunity to do cool outdoor stuff year round if you're cold tolerant. But it's not the most affordable place on the planet. Yeah. And some of that is people coming in from other places and driving real estate up. But honestly, the cost of things is just higher now than it was even last year.
That's
And that's just fact.
yeah, it is. Yeah, everybody kind of was like running to the areas like me and you live in. Well, our areas are different, but just that wilderness. And but yeah, it's jacking up. And then plus where I live too is a two-edged sword. Not only is it the nature beautiful, but it's booming because it's Walmart country. It's the home of Walmart. So all these people move here with that work there, and
Mhm.
it's kind of unique. What do you call those things? Winnebagos?
Yeah, like Winnebago's Airstreams.
Yeah, the Airstreams. Yeah, and
RVs.
yeah, RVs. It's a big RV culture here where they have a park, and I mean these people make 6 figures, right?
And they're living in a
But
trailer.
yeah, they live in a trailer, work remotely, and that's what they do. Do a lot of mountain biking. They may have a house somewhere, I'm sure, but it just
They're not.
the mindset of people is changing. Yeah, it's crazy.
Huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird. I mean, but I have Starlink internet, and I know you can get that basically anywhere now. And
I was gonna try that, but yeah, I
Love
don't
it.
know what you love it.
it's not cheap, but I can do this.
Okay,
And I can stream TV service, and I can do so many more things than I used to be able to do.
Yeah. I thought about getting that because I actually had to run 2 internet servers because I didn't know which one was gonna work. But I hear your dogs.
Yeah, I'm just checking. I think it's just the trash. But like
Make sure.
when traffic backs up, the dogs are like, move along.
Oh, okay. Okay. So let me ask you this: being that you are a breeder and everything like that, and you have these type of dogs, people see these dogs, Anatolian. They see the YouTube short. Oh my God, I gotta get one of them, baby. You know, tell us what do you look for in the customer, your do's and don'ts, and the people like you would never get a dog from me. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, I try not to like give away all my secrets. There are like absolute like red flag full stop questions on my puppy app.
Mhm.
So if the puppy's gonna be a gift, even if it's to your wife, even if it's to your child, you don't get a puppy from me. Buying a dog that hopefully is gonna live 15 years is not something you just like thrust upon someone against their will. Right? Like that's so jacked up to give a gift of a puppy. Unless that person is like, I really want a puppy, I just can't afford it. That's different. They're fully in and fully aware. But even then, I'm like, they need to fill out the app. Whoever's going to be the owner needs to fill out my application, not the gifter. It needs to be the giftee. People who refuse to put up fence.
Yeah.
There are people who are otherwise perfect. They have predator pressure. The dog would have a job and a purpose, which they need. But they're just like, oh no, fence is too expensive. Oh no, I have a property line dispute with my neighbor. I can't put up fence until it's settled in court. I don't wanna. Like there's all kinds of, there's barbed wire. There's 3 stands of barbed wire. You'll see the property line and stop. No, he won't. I try to, and like, I mean, here I use sport dog invisible fence on top of my like 4-foot crappy fence. And I tell people when they say, that's aversive. And I'm like, you know what's more aversive? Getting shot by my neighbor or hit by a truck.
Right.
And they usually shut up after that.
Yeah.
Even if they disagree. Like I can disagree with people and still have like a civil conversation. But when it comes to, that's aversive. You would put a collar on a dog that would shock them. I'm like, the shock only hits them ever once or twice in their life. Honestly, it's the vibration that does the job because the vibration breaks focus long enough for them to pause and say, oh, I'm getting too close to the fence. I'm going to back up. Before I had this system, I literally had dogs jumping my 4-foot fence because like they hardly have to jump to get over 4 feet. Let's just be honest. And not to sound like the other people, but I cannot afford 6-foot or 8-foot game fence on my property. I just can't. It's too much. So the fence that I can't afford, they would leave and they would go run a black bear that came too close, like 5 miles up the valley. And then they would come and jump back into the fence. So when my neighbor calls and says, hey, just so you know, like they're not mad. They're like, just so you know, I think your dogs were here like last Wednesday because I caught on my game cams. And I'm like, I know where my dogs are. It's like, it's 10 p.m. Do you know where your children are? Like, it's Wednesday. Do you know where your dogs are? And I was like, my dogs stay. I have good dogs.
Right.
They emailed me that game cams. It was 100% my dogs.
Right.
Leaving my property and just going willy-nilly through like probably 20 other properties.
They will, yeah.
And then once the bear like gave up, they're like, okay. And they just teetered on back home and hopped back into the fence so that I would never know they were gone.
Yeah.
That makes me the asshole. And I really don't like being the asshole. So I fixed it. Some people have good luck with hot fence, like just running hot wire.
Right.
I have had the worst luck. It grounds out too quickly and it just, I have a struggle with keeping it hot because with the clay, our fence posts do not always just stay where they're supposed to be. They will like ebb and flow a little bit with the season and how wet the clay underneath is like a foot down. So that can just ground out the whole fence and it's not visibly noticeable at a distance. You have to walk the entire fence line. And I don't got time for that right now. I have human children and other stuff going on. So that's why we went with the sport dog. And I recommend it to people.
Right.
But you still need a physical barrier. because they're smart and they will figure out if I start 20 yards back and get a run and go at it, I can beat the line. I won't get a correction if I just run straight through because I'm faster than the correction. Because it's an RF collar. It's a proximity trigger, not a, like the GPS ones now that they have, the geofencing, that will still correct them if they try to blow the line. And it won't correct them as they come back towards the property. It'll only recorrect them as they go away. But those collars, you have to charge them every night or every day. Like you're looking at like a 30-hour battery max. That's not functional for me. And they're but no, yeah, the fencing is really important. And then people who I get contacted by a lot, I mean, both genders, but mostly women, like mothers who move to the country and have 4 goats and 20 chickens and some children, and they have a bear that's coming around, or they have an active problem, and they're like, I really want to fix this. That becomes a husband screening now. Does he yell when he gets upset? Does he throw things? Has he ever touched you in a bad way? Because one of these dogs is going to get shot biting. 100%. So stuff like that. Like, I don't know that everybody who breeds these dogs is asking those types of questions, but for me, that's what's necessary. I contact everybody's vet that they currently have.
Mm-hmm.
If you owe your vet a bill and you're sending me thousands of dollars for a puppy, something's wrong. You should not be carrying a balance with your vet and shopping for a new dog.
Oh, boy, you just dropped a jewel there. Why are we?
I mean, people do it every day.
Yeah. References
matter.
Yeah.
Like professional, not their next door best friend.
Yeah.
Somebody who works for them. So their vet. If they, put in a fence and I want it changed, like I'll be like, I'll call your fencer. Give me his number. They're like, why'd you do it that way? They're like, we told them to do it this way and they would not listen. I'm like, great, thank you. They're not getting a puppy from me. If you're not coachable, something that's new to you, that you really don't do this for a living and you don't know. Like, it's okay to be ignorant. It's not okay to be dedicated to the sport of being ignorant.
Yeah.
It's 2 different things.
Yeah, because what's the life expectancy of these dogs?
I mean, my working dogs, I've seen like legit injury and issues from work.
Yeah.
I think it's less on the working dogs, but like a pet one or one that's just like, with a family in a backyard and not, they guard the house. They still work, but they're not like fighting cougars monthly. We're looking 12 to 14 years.
That's what I thought. Yeah, that's a long time.
Yep.
Yeah. You want to educate on them, on bringing this family member in and not having.
And if we have a question that pops up, whether it's tomorrow or 3 years down the road, I want them to actually call me and not Google it and not go on a Facebook group. And that's my job as a breeder, is to build that trust and be like, I can actually give you useful, applicable information. I can reference their lineage information and how, like, oh, their dad did something similar at this age. It's okay. It's not the end of the world. This is how I fixed it. Try that and call me in a week. And if it's not working, we'll try something else. As opposed to going on Facebook and saying, oh, no, my dog did this. What do I do? And, like, some people are like, shoot him. And then there's people who are like, oh, it's fine. Or, oh, he can't be a working dog.
Yeah.
Got to be a pet now.
Or who is your breeder? You should have called me first.
Well, literally, I used to troll those groups, and if I recognized the name, I'd be like, did you contact your breeder? It's me, or I'm the breeder. Winkton. But, like, even if it's not my puppy, at some point, I'm like, did you contact your breeder? You're rehoming this dog on a Facebook group. Did you contact your breeder and give them a chance to help you find a good home instead of the first home? And usually they're like, yeah, I contacted my breeder. I'm like, when? And they're like, 3 years ago. They didn't answer my question the way I wanted, and now I'm just going to rehome the dog. I'm like, okay.
Crazy. That's nuts. Yeah. Well, I'm going to wrap this up here. I enjoyed my time with you. I learned a lot. I think you're excellent at what you do. And, man, it's nuts. I want everybody to check out her website. I love her website. It's I'm big on websites, even though they're a thing of the people consider things of old, but a serious buyer wants to go somewhere where let me get the rundown on this person. If you're really researching a person, and then plus that helps the breeder as well. Uh, Instead of answering 100 questions every day, you have a website right here. You know what I mean?
Q page.
Right. One of those questions you gonna ask me is right here, and all my contact information, what I do, my purpose, everything is gonna be right there. So I really imagine you having that. But I'm gonna let you close it out by saying anything you want to the people, and also the ways they may contact you, events, whatever you want to do.
Sure. Yeah. So I'll do initially just a little plug for not just show dogs, but any breed that you own and love. I would encourage just everybody to join your national parent club, which is just that is the actual club that owns that breed standard, that has the power to affect the future of that breed that you really love and care about. Whether you're a breeder or an owner, not just an owner, but if you're not breeding, it's still valuable to have that connection to other people who have a lot of experience in your breed, whatever it is. They're not all just show dog people. And the only way to protect the working aspect of a working group dog is to have that voting power in that breed club. And you get that by being a member of that club. You don't get it any other way. So I would just encourage you. It is minimal. We're talking like less than $50 a year for a lot of cool breed specific information. It'll be stuff that you want to read about and you want to see. And it gets you access to affect the future for your breed. And that's a huge thing, especially in working breeds.
What's on your breed club?
The Anatolian Shepherd Dog Club of America.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yep. Which we're 55 years old now, and I'm not. So there's a lot of people in the club with a lot more breed experience than me. And I'm cool with it. And I ask them questions regularly. But it's good, I feel like, for younger people to get involved and make sure that the club outlives those founding members too. It's really important for the future of our breeds and our dogs to make sure that, and I told people I joined the club and I became president because I want to make sure that if my grandchildren want to live the lifestyle that I live and they want a well-bred Anatolian Shepherd dog, I want them to be able to find one. And that's not a guarantee for any of our breeds, that our offspring or their kids will be able to find the quality of dog that we have today. Ideally, we're breeding forward and we're improving year over year, but that's not a guarantee. If we don't work together, it's very unlikely, in fact. So finding a group of people that are all passionate, just because you don't agree on everything doesn't mean you can't work together for your breed.
Thank you for saying that. Thank you for saying that. Because I somebody convicted me one time. They're like, Joe, you try to avoid breeders, or you don't want the drama and all that stuff. Well, how's that helping the breed? Somebody told that to me recently. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I mean,
yeah.
not every breeder even agrees with the other breeders, right? Like there's a lot of conflict and I think that's where dog clubs become something that no one wants to really be involved in because they hear about the drama.
Yeah.
There doesn't have to be drama. It's not a requirement, in fact. And you also, just because you're invited to drama doesn't mean you have to attend either. You can be the adult and you can walk away and say, I'm actually here for the dogs. I'm not here for this. But if you have a dog question or you want to talk about the dogs, I'm here for it. Otherwise, I'll catch you later. And that's acceptable.
And you have to, this for to roll into something else right quick before I let you go.
You're fine.
Another plug.
Yeah.
But when you do podcasts and stuff, you have to take that kind of mindset. I can't take care of everything and I can't side with everybody. If I'm genuinely putting out something where we feel like people can learn something and learn other people, I can't be one-sided. I can't, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
with that being said, you're involved in a podcast as well. Can you talk about it?
Oh, sure. Yeah. So I help Laura Reeves with her Pure Dog Talk podcast, which has over 700 episodes. The information ranges from super helpful, applicable, like breeding medical, very detailed episodes with Dr. Marty Greer from Veterinary Village over in Wisconsin, to breeder interviews of lots of different breeds. Lots. If you're interested in looking into getting a new breed, but you're like caught between a couple, go ahead and search the archives on puredogtalk.com, because I bet you she's interviewed people and they do ask that question, who doesn't need to own this breed? And if you identify as one of those people, save yourself the headache.
Right.
That can be a great way to research a new breed that you're looking to get into, or if you're thinking of breeding a new hobby or a new breed, you can see like kind of who is kind of the top of the game and who you might want to go to for a breeding prospect.
Right.
But she's got all kinds of great information on there, and it's her passion project, and I just kind of help her here and there, and I produce the live Facebook show once a month, which you can find on the Pure Dog Talk Facebook page. But it's lots of good info.
Yeah. I had, soon as I opened the screen up and I saw you, I said, wait a minute, I know her from somewhere. And that's where I remember, I said, I saw her on that podcast, which that's something else, guys. A lot of y'all try to give me credit like I'm like revolutionized this thing, and that's not, this format has been going on a long time, especially in the APBT community. I got a lot of my style out of that community. They've been doing panels, and then there's a lot of channels that might not have like, well, I think I got like almost 7,000 subscribers. They got 1,000 subscribers and they just as good. They got a lot of info over there. So it's a lot of smaller channels kicking a booty. I'm telling you, kicking butt. And I that's what I might do. I might start exposing some of y'all. Just drop a list of small channels that's really got some ton of good information that might not have a spotlight on them. So I'll make sure I do my part on.
Yeah, definitely follow her on YouTube, because our YouTube has been like a hidden gem. It's got the podcast interviews starting like 2 years ago, but it's also got like all the live shows. I push those from Facebook. So it's got a lot of content on there for sure. And any podcast app, you can find Pure Dog Talk.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Okay. All right. Well, Natalie, I thank you again. It's been a pleasure.
Yeah. So do you want me to give my website or?
Please. Yes.
Oh, yeah. So it's just Apex Anatolians with an S.com.
Okay.
And I'm on Instagram and Facebook.
Yep.
And I'm a millennial, so I'm pretty responsive. And yeah, I mean, check out my website. I have prices public. I have the whole process of how to get a puppy public. So you don't have to like have questions. I think transparency and honesty is like really important. If people have to ask you how much for a puppy, that's annoying to like a breeder, because you're not like flowery. You're like, how much? But it's a fair question if the breeder's hiding their pricing, right?
Mm-hmm. They don't want other breeders know what they're charged.
Which is a whole other thing, isn't it? But yeah, if anybody has any questions, I've worked crosses, I've worked Sharplononauts, and I've worked the Anatolians. So I have a wider experience base, and I've done a decent amount of actual rehab rescue with working LGDs. So if somebody has questions like that is just job specific, I'm happy to help. And I guess like if I could just say one thing, like my one passion niche issue, just because a dog is stock safe doesn't mean it's a livestock guardian dog. So just because you're like, even a Cane Corso, that's a guardian breed. That's a human guardian breed. They bond very tight to their human. If they had to pick between the goat and you, they'd probably pick you to live, right? Which I sell a lot of dogs to protect families, but they are different.
Yeah.
And a Cane Corso does not want to live outdoors 24/7 in all weather in goat poop.
Right.
That would not make their life happy. That's not what they want. That's what they want to be doing. So
Hey, some of them now, you'll be surprised. Because they, they are Italian farm dogs. That's what they are originally.
Yeah.
Yeah, so some of them, but yeah, and most times, yeah, they really cling to the family and things like that. And yeah, they are a guard dog, one of the best property protectors ever.
Yeah. Well, I have no doubt they could do it. I just think when you if you have a choice of an Anatolian to live outside 24/7 and have minimal human contact or a Cane Corso, please don't do that to a Cane Corso. It's not kind.
No doubt. Yeah, I totally agree with that. Yes, man.
And people who just get a Craigslist puppy or a pound puppy and they're like, it's part this. So that makes it an LGD. Or they're like, I'm a good dog trainer. I can make anything an LGD. I'm like, you might be able to make any dog stock safe, but your poodle cannot win against a bear or even 2 coyotes, if we're being super honest. When you set up a dog for failure, that's a failure of you as the human in charge. So breed does matter. At the end of
100%. I'm just, when you talking, I'm thinking of the difference in the fangs on these dogs.
Yeah, I actually have one. So speaking of males,
Yep.
he ripped one out. This is a top canine out of my big male.
Yep.
That is a big tooth.
That's a big tooth. It's a big difference, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah. They are those situations and Anatolian, those livestock guards, they are different dogs. So we have to be very careful on placement.
A lot of responsibility.
There are a lot of, no doubt. 100% agree.
As an owner too, you have to respect who that dog is and what they've been bred for.
For sure.
Even if you're using them for family work or you're using them to guard your pot farm or whatever you're using them for, you have to understand and respect the history of that breed, which requires actual reading and research to do adequately. And you have to set them up for success because you're the human and that's your job for any animal you bring to your property.
Yes, ma'am. All right. Well, we thank you so much for your valuable insight. It was great. You come back. If you got anything you want to say, you come back here anytime. Just hit me up. Say, Joe, I want to talk about this.
I might. Thank you so much.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Step into the realm of canine wisdom with our podcast, NWA Cane Corsos, where we interview dog men and women from around the globe. Discover their talents and insights on breeding, training, nutrition, and the rich history of dogs. Tune in to the most underrated yet influential dog podcast on social media. Your journey into the dog world starts here.